This live stream may contain mature material some viewers might not find suitable.
Hello everybody and welcome. It is the 12th of May 2025 and this is a very special edition of the Level 99 live stream where we are feeling fine all the way up here at level 99. How is everybody doing here today? I hope you're all happy, healthy, and most importantly hydrated. You know I always keep that thing on me. How is everybody doing here tonight? I'm so happy to be with you all. I just had myself a delicious home-cooked meal. Real ass burgers. That's right, burgers.
I'm not a fucking dumbass mouth-drooling idiot.
Sugar-free ketchup and sugar-free burger sauce. So
Piss me the fuck off.
it's delicious, and it was right on time because I had more than enough time to hang out with the Volcano Hybrid downstairs. And I got good and ready. I'm very prepared for the night we have ahead. And I actually did a little bit of formatting, and this is what we're going to be doing if this pops off correctly. So I want to have the entirety of the live stream up as its own separate thing, whether it be Monday Night Brawl, No Waifu Wednesday, Free For All Friday night, Sussy Baka Sunday. And I want to have that full show be its own thing, but it's going to be sectioned off. We're going to cut the parts, and we're going to have them uploaded individually to the channel later on throughout the week. So if you wanted to experience the entirety of what the live streams have to offer, you can get that in this format here. But also what I'll be able to try and do is within the parts that I want to cut, get the parts that I want on there. And I think I have everything lined up. So let's just hope, fingers crossed that I get it to all work. Excuse me. And ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens and everybody in between, I need everybody to give it up for Dark Side Ranter. What up, pimp? Good to see you, my friend. Ranter over here, eating like an absolute king here with the ribeye steak. Big ups, my friend. Sounds delicious. I'm a little jealous. All the hot young dudes are here tonight. And did my eyes deceive me? Did Pro Wrestling Reality say that his career is over? What? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. My mans doesn't have the thousands upon thousands of viewers like he used to. That's interesting. Uh-oh. 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 All I'm saying is conflict builds controversy, which creates cash. So if you're looking for someone to be a big old baby face against, you know, you can just step to it. So Monday Night Brawl, which is tonight, is going to be split up into a couple of parts. The Level 99 live stream, which is what we're doing right now. LDZ Reacts, which is where we're going to be watching Captain Alex taking a victory lap on his first channel, and then Bad Moments Reacts and VODs covering the DSP Marathon Crash Out, a personal favorite of mine. Like, they don't need any of my coverage because they're doing very well for themselves. And then if we have some time later on tonight, we probably won't, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 Part 3. Jesus God, it's very difficult to speak. That volcano hybrid has just been very recently cleaned, and I keep trying to remind myself the importance of keeping up on maintaining your tabletop bong and your whip hoses and the like. Because once it gets all caked up, I mean, sometimes you're just lazy, sometimes you just don't want to do it, sometimes you just don't have the time to do it. But there's nothing better than a clean whip hose and other pieces of the puzzle. And really, really, less is more. So you got to be patient with me, guys. It happened again. He did it again. Pretty high. Fear Monarch, what up, pimp? Oh my goodness. Nothing hits like fresh, clean glass. True. This is true. And welcome, my friend. Good to see you all here tonight. I'm thinking about formats and how I'm going to be making different sections of this live stream. Stuff that I upload later to Premiere. And I think I have a good format here, and I can't wait to give it a try. So let's open up the floor to some Q&A while I siege mode. Did you notice, too, by the way, on Mondays, I have the FX behind me in the red color. Makes you think, color theory. That's crazy. I'm a huge fan of it. Huge fan of it. But we have a lot to get into. These videos tonight is going to be crazy. I'm going to pull up the playlist right now so we can hype it up a little bit before we jump in. Captain Alex was feeling himself about 5 to 6 days ago. He made a brand new channel, Alex Out of Character. And if you don't know who Captain Alex is, well, we got a lot of Captain Alex videos on the channel. You can always go back and watch some of my earlier works with him. I must have gotten on his radar because he made an entire AI song slamming me and other creators that happen to cover his antics on the internet. So interesting to know that my name is also being listed amongst Dead Wing Dork and the like. So that's pretty cool. And then, of course, DSP Tries It, Memology 101, a mainstay of this channel. Friend of the channel, hopefully. Nothing but love and respect to Memology 101. The best edited, okay, so Dashfire is one of the most comprehensive, most well-spoken compendium of Darkside Phil content. DSP Tries It, Memology 101 is what I think, between them and Dick Stroking Phil Vlogs, the 1 and 1A of the editing game when it comes to actually being something that you could show a normie and say, hey, this is why we enjoy watching this guy on the internet on a daily basis. We branched out a little bit and we took a look at Cyrax and we took a look at the Tony Atlas and the like. There's a lot more characters that we can cover. But, I love feeling that familiarity, I feel that warm, cozy feeling when we all, gather around the campfire and we enjoy the fruits of Captain Alex's labor. And let's just say, for an example, there's some new up-and-coming locales in the cinematic universe of drama. Are you guys familiar with Big T? Have you ever heard of Big T saying that they want to be the new Cyrax? What? I was there live on William Gloryhole's live, restreaming this guy complaining about not having $2.20 or something for bus fare or for somebody to send them out a pizza. And then that pizza turned into pizza and wings and turned into a pizza, wings, and a soda. All he did was yo, I'm providing the content. I'm sitting here and I'm smoking a blunt in front of Cyrax's house. I talked to Ed. What else do you want me to do? I'm not going to go up there and slug him. He rode his bike 2 hours. to get to this place. And then now he's trying to beef with William Gloryhole, which is not a good idea. And so now William Gloryhole is now focusing their ire on this Big T guy. Fluctuating Miasma, what up, pimp? They showed off a bunch of Final Fantasy Magic cards. I saw a specific one. I think it was Terra.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Oh my
Probably
goodness.
Your mama.
Oh my. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. I think I saw Terra specifically. And I do love me some Final Fantasy VI. How are you, my friend? I hope you are happy, healthy, and most importantly, hydrated. I know I am. So, yeah, I was like literally grocery shopping when this Big T dude was running up on Cyrax's house and didn't do shit. So now, again, beefing with William Gloryhole, and now he's pulling up all of his past dirt. And surprise, surprise, it ain't looking good.
You're goddamn right.
Sheesh. So, unfortunately, for this guy, not only has he become the new Cyrax, I feel like he might have surpassed him. He did a little speed run. Something to be admired for sure. So, I have about, let's just say, 5 more minutes of bullshitting on the Level 99 live stream before I kick it over to the video. I want to mention really quickly before we kick it over to the videos. Recently, this past Sunday, actually, Sabu, ECW legend, ECW original, passed away at 60. Condolences to Sabu, and it's so crazy how long Sabu has been going at it at the rate he has been going at. I can't even say his moniker on stream. I feel like if I was just on Kick, maybe it'd be a different story, but you know, his non-TOS friendly moniker definitely was earned, because this dude had scars all over his body, and you know, since his passing, everybody has been remembering him and showing these wild and crazy Sabu clips. Sabu even wrestling John Cena, of all people, doing literally his Arabian Press leg drop, his classic move on John Cena on the WWE stage. Absolutely incredible. Shao, Shimigami, and Nocturnal in the house. Welcome. We're just chopping it up about Sabu. There you go. I need to push the camera back a little bit more. This light's a little bit too bright. It's a disaster stream for sure. Good to see everybody here. We were just reminiscing about Sabu, who just passed away at 60. Not only his highlight reel clips of all the crazy stuff that he did, but now people are going back onto his Twitter timeline and screen capping all of his best interactions with the public at large. And I forgot how funny Sabu was on Twitter. Big ups to Sabu and Sheik, straight up. And I also was grateful enough to be able to share a locker room with Sabu once or twice, a couple of times. And actually, Prolocar, friend of the channel, when he comes to some of my shows, he actually came to the one show that Sabu was at, got a Sabu action figure autographed. It was in the box and everything. So that was really cool for him. You know, because we grew up on old school ECW, not the WWE ECW, the original ECW. Paul Heyman, you think like, you know how great the Bloodline storyline is in WWE, and that was just the one singular storyline that just resonated with everybody, that captured the world's attention. Paul Heyman was in the center of all of that. So think about it, the Bloodline storyline, that type of meticulous storytelling. Not just on one segment of the show on ECW, but across the entirety of the show. The Paul Heyman genius of presenting a pro wrestling show that was interesting and easy to follow and just a lot of fun to watch started with Sabu and the original ECW. Watch him facing Abyss in the Barbed Wire Massacre on TNA. What a match. Shao Shimigami with the deep cuts. Strollier, welcome also.
I heard there's some hot young dudes out here on the internet. Wonderful, real, meaningful content.
True. Yes, RVD and Sabu, quite possibly one of the best tag teams in ECW. I mean, everybody was so good. It takes, if everybody on the roster is great, then nobody is great. But everybody was really great. And then there was like extremely great. RVD and Sabu, absolutely. And Jerry Lynn, yep. Jerry Lynn and RVD with their incredible series, Super Crazy. Tajiri and Jerry Lynn, Little Guido, all of their matches, the death match that they had. Oh my God, Jesus. Just thinking about all of it's bringing me back to those warm summer nights. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we got a bunch of shows coming up soon. It was a long weekend of wrestling also this past weekend. I didn't get to wrestle, but I did a lot of the production side of things. Hey, by the way, guess what, guys? Can I just S my own D for a little bit?
Legalize nuclear bombs. We just nuked the building.
GCW, I guess head honcho Brett Lauderdale. I don't know what everybody's opinion is on this guy, but he seems to be a big deal, especially with GCW and the like. Was on Twitter today asking about graphic designers. So I threw my hat in the proverbial ring, and not only did I throw my name in the proverbial hat, a bunch of people on the internet also tagged me and said, hey, this is your guy. Hey, this is your guy. So like, it's interesting too, because like me and Brett also both came up at the same time, and he went on to do so much bigger and better things, putting all of this stuff together, taking over WrestleMania weekend with all of this stuff. Like, so why not? Why would I want to be able to work for the big ticket, customers, you know. I only fucks with the best, you know. So I'm thinking to myself, before I used to be really timid and be like, oh man, I don't think my stuff is good enough in order to be presented on bigger stages. But nowadays I'm thinking to myself, man, the hell with all that. F that. I'm going to shoot my shot. I'm going to see what happens. And if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't mean that there isn't another opportunity. Thank you, Joker. I appreciate that. I feel like we have a nice little community here that always want to see each other succeed. So I'm with it. Definitely feeling the love. New Jack, oh yes, rest and oh, bro, can you believe that New Jack is actually going to be in WWE 2K? What? Sheesh. Here's how old school I am. First, I saw Jerry Lynn be the guy who beat Lightning Kid, a.k.a. Sean Waltman, for the GWF Light Heavyweight title. Sheesh. That's before my time. I'll tell you when I came in. WCW Worldwide on the public stations with the spinning ring in the studio. I thought that was the coolest shit in the whole world. And I always thought in my head, WCW was the Sega Genesis. It was cheap and it was available. WWF at the time was the Super Nintendo, high-end, good sound, good graphics, the high-end ticket, which goes back to me also saying that I prefer and now would like to work with high ticket, be the high ticket and be the high ticket guy, the Hype Williams of this professional wrestling world. I'm just saying. I can be a good promoter. Who do I want to wrestle? Randy Orton, really. Randy Orton. So safe. I saw the masterclass John Cena had with Randy Orton on Backlash, bro. It was every pro wrestling trope in the book. This was like a overbooked mess at the very end, and that's exactly what it needed to be. They didn't have to go out there and do a 5-star classic. They went out there, they did all the hit. So yes, Randy does play Elden Ring apparently. So big ups to that. Will we see him running in Night Rain or whatever, Night Veil, whatever it's called? But yeah, Randy Orton, absolutely. Because if you wrestle somebody, and they know exactly where they need to be at all times, and you don't have to worry about what they're doing, and you can just work and everything works. I think it would be the easiest with him because he does simple stuff. It's not overly complicated, and all the stuff that he does makes sense. No wasted motion. None of this high spot shit. Boil it to a simmer and then go on with it. I wish Edge and Randy could get a do-over considering their match happened in crowdless times. Okay, so I'm gonna just say this: the greatest match of all time. How they build it. I mean, they had to do what they had to do, and it wasn't bad. It was also very, very long match. And yeah, it was crazy too, Miasma, because like it was Cena now doing all of the cheating and all of the stalling, and just like they swapped, and it was so cool to see them switching the roles, because I think for the entirety of their feud, it was John Cena baby, Randy Orton heel. So to be able to watch that and experience it was very cool. And sometimes people get lost in the work rate of it all, and that's a conversation, because that's a valid conversation, because wrestling can be anything for anybody. It could be presented in any way, it could be consumed in any way. So there really shouldn't be any type of gatekeeping when it comes to if you enjoyed or did not enjoy the match. But to see it in my perspective as where I've seen quite possibly every Randy Orton versus John Cena match there was to have, and all of this, and there was actually a video about this on Twitter. They were showing clips where they were mimicking past things that they did. So it rewarded people that have followed the journey. So at least in my estimation, and going off on a tangent here, I got derailed. It was like a great assist. It was like seeing an old familiar act, and you knew how everything was going to go, and you knew that it was going to be what it was, and you enjoyed it for what it was. And, you're not going to be able to see a Randy Orton versus John Cena match ever again. So there may even come a time where you look back and go, man, I actually, didn't appreciate it as much as I would now that it's not here anymore. So my 2 cents. And sometimes people do get lost in the sauce. I gotta agree with Fear on that. Mexican Destroyer says Honky Kong. I gotta agree with you. How about Penta, bro? How about Ray Fenix, bros? Tell me, Adam Jones, I think is his name, from Tool. Please correct me if I said this wrong. Doing the guitar for both of their entrances, dude. Like, this is big time for both of them. And Lucha Libre in Mexico, and just that style and that flavor and that brand of wrestling is really, really, really good. Like, okay, so a lot of people are saying like, oh my God, WWE just bought AAA. But guess what? I now know that there's a whole bunch of more people out there that know that AAA exists. So already that's a benefit, right? And I mean, obviously they're looking to branch out, and they're looking into other places to corner markets and stuff like that. So it's very apparent that it's the corporate machine trying to build out its tendrils into another part of the world. I can see that as well. But you're going to be able to see people like Vikino. I apologize if I'm saying his name wrong, but he's an absolute insane man. He's done a lot of stuff with AEW and TNA, I think. And I mean, just to name a few. And then for all of my cake style enjoyers, there is a lot of cake to be had, rivaling that of NXT, rivaling that of TNA. I know Cena had to win, but isn't it normally bad practice to have the hometown guy lose? So, Ranter, that is the thing. Vince McMahon was actually notorious for this. It was always the inside joke, and sometimes you got to swerve the crowd because, unfortunately, because sometimes crowds are too smart for their own good, promoters will want to swerve them or punish them for being a smart mark. So Vince was notorious for this. If you were in your hometown, you're either going to get buried or you're going to get put over. And let me take that back. Not buried. You're going to be, your defeat will cause the crowd to elicit a reaction. If you take the personal side out of it, you would want to have any type of reaction, whether it be something like, oh, the triumph of victory or the heartbreak of defeat, because that's still an emotion. Some people sometimes get kind of caught up in, oh, it's my hometown, I got to win. But, a lot of people, if people are having conversations with promoters about why they should be winning, then that's already a lost conversation. But yeah, I mean, if we're talking traditionally, and this is what I always tell people when they first walk in the door. I'm like, dude, wrestling's full of the dumbest, tropiest rules that you have to adhere by that you will not know about until you're punished for them. But everything's a rule until it's not. So like, they're so like steadfast in honoring old traditions, which is peer pressure by your ancestors, by the way. So yeah, like if you're on your way out the door, you do good business by helping out as many people as you can on the way out. Randy doesn't need any help. Apparently R-Truth is going to be next up against Cena at Saturday night's main event. So like, obviously it's going to be, again, a wider macrocosm of what you had with John Cena and Randy Orton, where they were doing all the hits. Like John Cena is essentially taking a victory lap and, giving everybody a pat on the back on the way out the door. But it doesn't have to be, oh, Randy Orton just beat him, and oh, now R-Truth just beat him. Like Cena obviously has to be Super Cena up until the very end. So I guess if it was me, I would say up until the very end. And it's actually kind of like they're planting the seeds right now. It almost seems like John Cena is regretting his heel turn. And I don't know. It's interesting to see him in this way, but it's like Cena turned heel with The Rock, and then what? And now he's just like angry, and now he's talking about abusive relationships. It's interesting, but I don't think Cena's found his voice with this yet. He's making good points, but like, I don't know. Maybe it's also just because I've seen him as a babyface for the majority of his career. Like, and when he was a heel, he was just being a heel saying like raunchy stuff in a rap. So, and totally agree, Honky Kong. Lucha Bros would be sick in WWE. I mean, if you followed Penta and Rey Fenix through Lucha Underground and TNA and AEW, this was the natural progression. Those two guys have transcended Lucha. They are amazing athletes, entertaining, charismatic, just like the perfect 1-2 punch. If we're talking about expanding into different parts of the world again, they are the perfect people to put front row center when it comes to promoting the AAA now wing of WWE, which is crazy to me because they have like Evolve now also, and they have LFG. So there's so much like opportunity for people to get looked at and, see if they can bring anything to the WWE table. And Shao Shimigami says, starting to like Dominic Mysterio more and more, he acts just like Eddie. And I think that's why people are starting to like him. I mean, his hair, his mustache, it's crazy. Like Dominic Mysterio, I remember was very corny, but very capable when he was first coming up. And obviously, being able to say that you're a father and son tag team is really cool. And like, he just needed to come out of his shell, needed to grow up a little bit. And of course, now that he's come into his own, he's more confident in the ring. And here's another thing too. There's a reason why a lot of people are liking Dominic Mysterio more, and it's a very subtle thing. And and let me just pull back the curtain a little bit. And if you already know this, then good on you. But if you are a Dominic Mysterio style individual, let's just say that you're a heel, okay? It's usually best practice to not do, let's just say, for an example, a dive out, a tope con hero out to the floor, and then turn it into a tornado DDT. You know why? Because that is a very flashy move. And if you're outshining your babyface, well, guess what? You're not doing your job. If you're doing cooler moves than your babyface, then you're missing the plot. You're trying to look cool, not trying to make the babyface look cool, right? Right, Bat Boy with internet, right? Sheesh. I think so. But yeah, you didn't see Dominic Mysterio doing cool moves like that before, but now that obviously the crowd has put their stamp of approval on Dominic. I mean, it's been there. The rumblings have been there, but like literally WrestleMania was that rubber stamp saying, "All right, Dominic, you're the guy. You got this. You good." Now he's going to go out there and do some really ridiculous moves. He's going to be doing that crazy stuff. And, you know, as a baby, like look at it like this also, like Seth Rollins, for an example, when he was with like J&J Security, or when he was with the Authority versus when he was the Visionary, or when he was the Prophet, or whatever the heck he was. Watch how he does moves, or what moves he does. Any good heel tries their best to make the babyface look as best as possible, which means up to and including not doing cooler moves than that heel.
I took it to my penthouse and I freaked it.
Americano should compete in the AAA PPP coming up. Oh my goodness, yo. I'm glad that they got something to do for Chad Gable. And I do also kind of like the hook. Like, it's so carny. It's so corny. It's like the reverse carny. Like, obviously the American, they said he was from the Gulf of America. They should have stuck with that. But the woke mob went down and said, WWE, you're hurting our feelings with your words. So they went back and... So the Gringo Americano gimmick is so good because, of course, Chad Gable is super capable and he's willing to work with the luchadors and make them all look good and hopefully teach them how to work the WWE style. And so, like, he can hang with all of these guys. He could be a good base for them. He can help kind of corral all of these guys. And it's good television. You know Penta is going to be on TV all the time. You know Ray's going to be on TV all the time. So if you're also donning the mask and just obviously doing the Captain America, what was that? Not the Captain America, the Mr. America gimmick. That's right, the Mr. America gimmick. I see nothing wrong with it. I think it's good for Chad Gable. And I mean, it's heat. It's wrestling, bro. Like, people are like, oh, that's racist. Oh, that's this, oh, that's that. It's wrestling, dude. You put the lens of wrestling on it, it's merely a mirror to real life. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I believe the saying goes, being loved is great, but you can only need to be afraid in wrestling is to get no reaction at all. Yes, true. Even the X-Pac heat. We love X-Pac. We love Sean Waltman here on this corner of the internet. But if you get that label, it's still a reaction, so... And I got to agree. Truth does deserve to hold the belt once, but he's probably not. He's probably not going to get his gold watch, which is okay. So here's another thing. Can I peel back the curtain again? R-Truth is a WWE guy for life. You talk about all of these cuts that are happening and all of the return on investment that they should be getting. R-Truth should never be getting let go, and I think that is probably a very strong statement to say. I can make you a guarantee that he will never leave the WWF. He will never get cut from the WWE. He is in WWE for life, and that is because he is the quintessential entertainer when it comes. You can get R-Truth to do anything. You can slot him in anything, and he's going to knock it out the park. You'd be ridiculous to let somebody like R-Truth go, and so. It's amazing that he's held on to this job at WWE for this long, and I would not be surprised if he held on to it for the rest of his life. And I see him as a Hall of Famer for real. Yeah, but getting the belt, getting the championship, I don't think he needs it. I don't think he needs that gold watch. But who knows? Maybe the 24/7 championship could be brought back. Who knows? And yeah, I got to agree with my asthma. Rapper Cena was great. I remember the first SmackDown. I remember Kurt Angle coming out. I remember John Cena coming out and then saying ruthless aggression, and then we're in the last year of John Cena now. What is going on? And yes, good evening to you, just a bat boy with internet. So good to have you. Yeah. And you know what? He's also very cool as well. I happen to, I don't even give it a second thought, and like saying it out loud kind of like makes me feel like it's pick me energy. But like all of these names that we were talking about, like outside of Dominic Mysterio, really, I have had an interaction with. Like I have done work with these people, not like wrestling, pro wrestling in the ring, but like just we've shared a locker room, and it's cool. It's cool to say that. Like I can actually say that, these people that we do talk about, New Jack, no, not New Jack. I was just scrolling up to make sure that I covered all of my bases. I was like, I know I haven't seen Dom, and I definitely know I haven't seen New Jack. But one of my buddies, man, he wrestled New Jack once. I was scared to death for him, bro. But he was very capable, and he saw through to the other end. And let me just say that New Jack is actually kind of a sweetheart in the ring. If you see him work, even though he is taking a vacuum cleaner and he's swinging it over top of his head and bringing it down on your crotch with a street sign over it, he does it in I would say, the most polite way you could do it for someone, So all the same. Shout out to New Jack. Shout out to Sabu. And these things usually happen in threes. You also met AJ Styles and John Morrison. That's what's up, Tubes. Did I ever meet Sabu, fan bro? Yes, I did. Multiple times. It's so weird hearing him talk because I'm so used to him just not talking on TV. But I mean, like, look. My buddy got a Sabu action figure. It was still in the box. He had him sign it at one of my shows, and I won't speak for him, but I was like, man, being able to see the people that you've grew up watching on TV and kind of pick their brain is really cool. I mean, Frank Grimes may disagree with you on New Jack, yeah, or what was that kid's name? The kid that literally kind of almost bled out. Mass Transit, bro. He would definitely disagree with me, but he's also not with us anymore, so. Man, this is getting dark. This is like when I took that Hollywood tour, and they said, okay, this is where Anna Nicole Smith died, and this is where Michael Jackson died, and this is where so-and-so died. And I'm like, we're going to be driving up a mountain next. I don't think I want to do this anymore. But if you're watching this live, if you're chilling with us live here on the live stream on Monday night, thank you for your company. Do not go anywhere. We're going to split the part right here. And then we're going to kick it over to LDZ Reacts. We're going to kick things off with 2 Captain Alex videos. That's going to be our opening contest for the evening. We're going to take a look at Captain Alex. We're going to be watching Dark Side Phil, thanks to Bad Moments and Reacts and VODs. And then we're going to finish that segment up with the latest Lechero video, Familia DSP. It was his own fault. He said he was of age and he wasn't. He said he was and he wasn't.
Okay.
So, if you're watching this here live, do not move. But if you're watching this on the replay or on the premiere, thank you so much. Please do let me know what you liked and what you didn't like about the video. I read each and every comment. I respond to each and every comment. And I welcome the conversation. Thank you so much for joining us. And until next time, take care. Be safe. I love each and every one of you platonically and consensually. Until next time, peace.